Congratulations, my dear child. Your red alert has finally arrived. It's not something you can just brush aside or let slip through your fingers. Your guardian angel, the one I've assigned to watch over you from the very beginning, is standing firm right now, gently but insistently guiding your attention here. No matter how busy your day feels or how tempting it might be to keep scrolling through the endless stream of noise online, they won't let you move on. If you try to skip this, the regret would weigh heavy on your heart later, bringing tears you don't deserve. Please, open your eyes and your spirit to this right now. This isn't some random pop-up or fleeting thought in the digital world. This is a sacred, heaven-sent interruption, crafted just for you in this precise moment. I'm speaking straight to your soul, bypassing all the distractions, because I know how desperately you've needed to hear from me. This isn't ordinary advice or a casual pep talk from a stranger's screen. No, this is me, your loving Father, breaking through the chaos of your everyday life with a voice that's clear and personal. If you turn away now, you risk missing the very thing your heart has been whispering prayers for in the quiet hours of the night. You might overlook the answer to that storm you've been weathering alone, the one where you've poured out silent cries, wondering if anyone up here was listening. I see it all, every drop of sorrow you've hidden from the world. So, if your heart feels even a tiny spark of openness to what I'm sharing, pause everything. Comment Amen below if you're ready to receive this. You've waited so long, haven't you? Those long nights on your knees, those moments of wrestling with doubts that clawed at your faith. I've marked every one. And now, heaven is leaning in close, whispering back, I am the Lord your God, the one who holds your life in my hands. I'm sending this message as your red alert, not to scare you with tales of danger, but to light a fire of holy urgency in your spirit. Something beautiful is stirring because of you, for you. I need you to grab hold of this instant and not let go. What you've been begging me for in your deepest prayers. It's on the verge of bursting into your reality. But here's the gentle nudge. Don't skip past this. I picked this exact second, this very scroll on your feed, for you to stumble upon my words. Your angel isn't just hovering. They're actively nudging your thumb, your eyes, your thoughts, because this is the confirmation you've been aching for. That confusion you've been tangled in, the tears you've shed over unanswered questions in the dead of night. I'm addressing it head-on right here. Ignore this, and the waiting stretches out like a shadow, longer and more exhausting than your weary soul can handle. But stay with me. Linger here. Let your heart soften and listen. In that surrender, I'll step in and move mountains on your behalf. Comment 1111 if deep down you sense this is landing in your lap at the perfect hour, like a gift wrapped just for you. I'm not wrapping this in mysteries or vague hints. I'm laying it out plain and simple, so there's no room for doubt. Your breakthrough isn't some distant dream. It's knocking at your door with quiet persistence. But lurking nearby is the enemy, always ready to whisper lies and pull you off course. The fights you've faced lately? They've been fierce because the good I'm sending is so near, so real. That's the heart of this urgency. I want you locked in, eyes wide open to my voice cutting through the storm. Don't hand the spotlight to distractions or the enemy's sly tricks when my truth is shining bright on your path. Like this post, not for my sake, but as a bold act of faith from you, saying out loud to the heavens, Lord, I'm choosing to stay right here in this moment. When you lean into belief like that, I pour out my power in waves that wash over every dry place in your life. You've shed enough tears to fill oceans. You've roamed lost in the wilderness long enough, and I see the exhaustion etched in your bones. The spiritual battles were brutal, no denying that, but the victory I'm ushering you into? It's sweeter, stronger, more complete than you can imagine. That pressure you've felt squeezing your chest? It's not random cruelty. It's the labor pains of something magnificent being born inside you. Hurt often walks hand in hand with hope, paving the way for promises that last. The enemy has slithered in, trying to sell you the lie that nothing's shifting, that I've gone quiet, that the skies above are sealed shut against your pleas. But listen close. I haven't turned my back, not for a heartbeat. I've been your constant companion, step by shadowed step, even when the road twisted into darkness. What feels like endless postponement? It's my flawless timing weaving a tapestry of protection and preparation you can't yet see. That's why your angel is planted like a sentinel, refusing to let you wander off from these words. This isn't mere encouragement. It's a lifeline thrown into turbulent waters, pulling you toward shore. You've known isolation that bites deep, misunderstandings that sting like salt in wounds, attacks that left bruises on your spirit. Yet through it all, my hands never stopped crafting your rescue. You can't spot the changes yet, but in the unseen realms, the tide has turned. The gears are grinding in your favor. Comment 22. If you're trusting that I'm orchestrating miracles behind the curtain, even when the stage looks empty. There have been days, haven't there, when you stared in the mirror and questioned your own value. Nights when you lay awake, pondering if I still held a blueprint for your tomorrows. Let me silence that storm right now. Yes, absolutely, I have a plan, vibrant, unbreakable, tailored to the unique fire in your soul. And it's more than a sketch. It's a sacred rendezvous with destiny that no human scheme, no demonic scheme, no wave of fear can derail. I've been molding you through it all, stretching your limits not to snap you in two, but to unveil the reservoir of strength I've hidden within. Each tumble to the ground, I was there, hoisting you higher, forging resilience like steel in a forge. Every roadblock that halted your steps, it was my shield, guarding you from pitfalls disguised as shortcuts. Those no's that echoed back at you, they were my whisper of, "Hold on, my love, I've got something richer waiting just beyond." You imagined yourself sidelined, invisible in the crowd, but I was directing the entire scene, spotlights and all. The folks who overlooked you, who passed you by without a glance, they're on the front row soon. Witnessing the glow of favor, I'll drape over you like a royal robe. I never vanished. My love didn't flicker. My commitment to you burned steady, even in the moments you couldn't muster belief in yourself. Now I'm anointing you afresh, new oil for weary lamps, fresh vigor for faltering steps, a breeze from my breath to fan flames long dimmed. This isn't the fleeting pump-up from crowds or clever quotes. It's the unshakable might born from my spirit, rooting deep in your core. You'll stand tall again. You'll reclaim what's been stolen. You'll stride into the harvest season I've vowed for you. But please, don't brush this aside. Anchor here with me. The enemy craves your blindness, urging you to swipe away and stay shackled in the dark. I long for your awakening, your unchained stride into light. You're not here by chance or cosmic accident. I orchestrated your path to cross these words, like a director cueing the star of the show. This isn't happenstance. It's prophecy unfolding in real time, promises quickening to life before your eyes. The fear that gripped you, whispering it'd never arrive, that very thing rushes toward you now, swift as dawn chasing night. That's the root of the recent assaults on your peace. The enemy senses the breach in his walls, your blessing charging through. And I'm not demanding flawlessness from you. All I ask is faith, pure and simple. Trust that I still calm raging seas, muzzle roaring threats, and stride into blazing trials alongside my own. I'm unchanging, the same compassionate force from ages past, right here in your today, and carrying you into every tomorrow. My words ring true. I don't dangle empty hopes before my children. I didn't guide you through valleys just to abandon you on the peak. Courage, my weary one, wipe those cheeks. Our story's far from over. Your finest chapters aren't buried in yesterday. They're scripted bold across your horizon. Those quiet assurances I breathed into your spirit? I'll broadcast them loud, for all to witness. Folks will gaze at your turnaround and marvel, how did they rise from that? And you'll point heavenward, it was God every step. That story of triumph, it's etched in eternity's ledger, awaiting your voice to tell it. All it takes is your steady gait in faith, one footfall at a time. I'm expanding your heart's capacity, readying it for abundance beyond measure. This isn't discipline, it's divine setup, positioning you where glory meets grit. I'm crafting you into a force the darkness will rue the day it challenged. What I unlock stays unlocked. No force can bolt it shut. My grip outpowers your history's chains, your stumbles, your shadows. You're not lagging behind. You're synced perfectly to my rhythm for the wonders ahead. Is it possible to draw wealth close just by uttering a few powerful words? Imagine this, a simple 9-word phrase, backed by Harvard studies and tested in 6 leading neuroscience labs, showing folks manifesting cash inflows from unexpected places, debts vanishing like mist, lives leveling up in ways they never dreamed. It takes under half a minute a day, right from your cozy spot on the couch. But whispers say this gem won't linger online forever. Authorities might scrub it soon. Dive into the description and comments below to claim it before it's gone for good. When my favor cascades over you, it'll hush every falsehood the enemy hurled. When I elevate your path, it'll baffle the forces arrayed against you. The portals I swing wide, they won't stem from your hustle alone, but from your steadfast heart through the ache. You pressed on when logic screamed quit, honored me when the world spun indifferent. That loyalty stirs the stars. I cherish such devotion. Keep tethered to me, poised and open. Above all, be present, for heaven's sirens wail over your name. Now, not in some hazy future, not next season, but this very breath. Watch me pivot your world with the speed I showed Joseph from chains to throne, Daniel from den to decree, David from caves to crown. I behold you fully, the burdens bowed low on your shoulders, the sobs stifled behind locked doors, the pleas gasped out in despair. Lord, I can't endure another dawn. Yet here you are, unbowed. That's my grace, the invisible thread stitching your fragments when all else frayed. Comment 333, to proclaim your trust in this pivotal hour. This isn't your curtain call, it's the pivot where chains crack. That red alert blaring across your spirit? It's heaven's bulletin. Your era of lingering has lapsed. I'm trading your vigil for vaults of victory, dispatching helpers from on high, chances kissed by eternity, insights sharp as dawn. Puzzles that baffled you? They'll click into clarity soon. The fog, the hush, the barriers, each was a signpost steering you to this juncture. I've toiled unseen, nudging souls, sinking stars, forging your fortune not just to soothe, but to spill over, touching parched lives through yours. I don't sprinkle sparingly. I flood to foster growth. That's why your angel stands sentinel, unseen but unyielding, from your first cry to this crossroads. They've deflected arrows in crashes dodged, fevers fled, griefs glimpsed but not gripped. Now, that same sentinel stirs your depths, cautioning against haste, against walls rebuilt around your wounds. For your tale's next chapter hinges on this. What seed of belief do you plant here? Don't murmur. This must be for another. No, it's yours, etched with your name, your scars, your secrets whispered to no ear. I know the voids you've veiled, the stings you've swallowed silent. Yet I chose you, not for your scorecard, but for my boundless heart. I'm the restorer of ruins, rebuilder of realms, reclaimant of robbed joys. You're not irredeemable, not fractured beyond mending. Your missteps, they didn't bar you, they beckoned my mercy. Grace isn't bartered, it's bestowed on bended knees. Quiet the guilt's clamor, let grace's gale prevail. My pardon eclipses your gravest gaffes. My embrace engulfs your rawest rifts. Comment 555. If grace's whisper warms you now. You've hungered for affirmation from faces that faded, but I'll spotlight you my way, lifting lowlies, lauding the loyal, leveling lopsided loads, smoothing stony trails. I'll usher you into chambers undreamt, and when all asks how, you'll him alone, his hand, his heart. The detours that derailed, they were diverts from lesser lots. Departures that daggered deep, they were dodges from dimmer dawns. The throb that throbs, it's the forge firing finer futures. I permitted the fracture to frame your fortitude, the quake to quarry your quarry of quiet strength. Now I summon you to sink, yield fully, not fractionally, not fitfully. I crave your core, unreserved, unbound by calendars or customs. For my bounty brims, but I bestow on bearers of humility, stewards of honor. This transcends trinkets, its tapestry of time, threads tying souls to your steadfastness. Your skirmish seems solitary, but souls stake their spark on your surge. Lives lean on your law. That's the enemy's frenzy. Your ascent awakens armies. And I'm igniting yours. No more slumber in spirits, no nods for nods, no qualms on my quarters. I'm here, ever was, through death's dim valleys, clutching your core when senses screamed solitude. Your kin, my cherished. I'm shield, salve, supplier. Storms surged, but spared you whole, for I capped the chaos. Foe fumed to fell you, I forbade. He hungered to hush, I held hold. Now my yes thunders over every nay, etched in your ears. What if the tales of treasure were tall? A veiled nine-word vow, unearthed from sealed scrolls, aids multitudes to summon riches sans strain. Sages claim it stirs a primal pulse in your mind, a 150-million-year echo of plenty. Labs laud its leap from ledger to legacy. Yet vaults may vanish it veiled. Seek the link in lore and leaves below, lest it lapse to legend. Shun the gaze at others' lanes. Yours is yours, hand-hewn, heartfelt. I'm not hastening, honing, not harrying, hallowing. For when I unleash, you'll uphold it hail. The boon brewing, it builds, not buckles, fortifies, not fatigues. It's tribute to your tacit trials, the grit gripped in gloom. Proximity pulses, you're nearer than noon to nightfall. Not eons off, but elbow close. I'm not toying, trumpeting, that you tune your temple. For when sluices swing, second sprint, you'll savor if schooled. This clarion call? My megaphone from the Most High. Heed my herald, don't dally in dross. Probe your pulse, prune the pull of peripheries, pivot to our privy parley. I yearn your yarns, your yesterfaith as youth. Words needn't wow, just welcome me whole. That's my sole suit, candor, not choreography. You unvarnished. I ache to mend the mausoleums you've masked, reclaim the relics you've relegated, infuse glee where grief griped too long. I can, I will. If you yield the yield, I won't wrench, I rap. This missive, my knuckles on your knob. Will you welcome? Vocalize it vivid. Yes, Yahweh, I'm yours. Let air, adversary, apprehension attend. For your essence echoes. This is thine. More marshes ahead, but this meridian marks. Mutation mints with mindset. Marvel mints with mustering. You're picked, perceived, prized. The ruby reveille, realms roar. This thou shaltn't shunt. I spied the slights, the shattered oaths, the all-out offers spurned to voids, the surreptitious sobs, the armoured aches, the feigned fortitude amid fissures. I witnessed, wept with, yet wove you woven in worth. Comment 12:12. If you ken my ken never quits your kernel. Agony didn't arrest your award, it armored it. Treachery's tempered tenacity no tranquility could. You wailed at wards welded, unknowing they weren't waypoints. I welded them to wing you to worthier worlds. I vowed no velvet voyage, but vowed vigil, never lone. The lading's laden heavy. You've hankered halt, yet I heaped heroism. You hankered haven from havoc. I honed your harness. You hankered hearts mended. I mirrored yours mended. That's Genesis genuine. Not getaway, but glow up. You've been forged in flames. Now the unguent I'll append will undergird universes. Presences will palpate your pivot, probe. What's wrought this wonder? You'll warble. Wound met with the waymaker, not patched, but phoenixed. You'll unveil why the vier was vexed, how I hijack harm for harvest. I'm not just restocking repose, reinstating renown, reverence, rock, resolve, and acclaim, mine alone. This, reversal rapturous, ruins rod, now scepter, wreckage, wings. I'm inverting ink, inscribing issue, ironing infamy. No more, forgotten. Fervor forbids. Comment 77. If reclamation rings real. Torment wasn't tally. 'Twas tempering for the templed. Hush wasn't heedless. Hallowed hollow for hallowed hold. Foe flailed fierce for he foresaw. Fear's fog, despair's deluge. But null negates your nub, your natal writ. He's harried, humbled, your hour heralds. Not hankering, but habiting triumph. This term, transformed. You're transmuted, tempered, tallied trials too toilsome for turncoats. You've hurled in hush. Now heaven hails your husher's harvest. Every lachrymose liturgy, logged. Each insomniac invocation, inked. Each election of Elon over ebb, eclipsed in empyrean. I slight not the steadfast. I shower surreal. Shun suitors of sanction. Spurn proving to the profane. I've imprinted, insulated. What's inscribed, no inveigh inverts. Your yoke, named in my nacre. Why do sages swoon o'er a septet plus duo? 'Tis transmuting fiscal fret to founts of fortune. O'er 19,000 attest. Debts dissolved, domains of dough, deliverance, delight. Potent as psalm, perchance. If this gleams, grasp. Gale may gulp it. Link in litany and leaves. Latch ere lost. I'm incubating the inconceivable, the unanticipated. Your oars ante. But balk not. 'Tis thy tryst, though tint not thy tintype. My measures mountaineer yours. My metronome meticulous. When I mobilize, meteors manifest. Post-haste post, panacea, prospect, placidity. No nudge needed, no net. I navigate, net. Soul suit, surety. Sure me, I shepherded sands stumble here too. No hurl hereafter. Shun lassitude's larceny of lustre. I ken thy need, but confound not collapse with cadence. You're convoyed, not conquered. I'm infusing iron for influx imminent. Refurbishing route, reliance, radius. For realm requires rigour renewed. And thou hast, housed, not hunted. No hoard needed, more me. No harbinger, heed hither. No horror of hereafter. I helm, harrow ahead. You'll chortle anew, lighten like lark, respire rarefied. Querier's query, quell, quoth, queried and quenched. For that's the quint. I recollect rogations, rigours, relinquishments. Ne'er nugatory. Neck high. You've navigated naufragous nights. Now coronet of carol. Cascade calm, not circumambient, but core. the cordial that courts not climb, but clings to my clasp. I'll glut gulfs, gag guilt, glean grief, garb in guilt for grime. That's my métier, mendacity to magnitude, not mend. Prep, for portals not parcel, paroxysm of my pneuma, not via vassals, via verbum. Undeniable, unutterable, you'll kneel, kinetic, but kadosh alone. Apt, I adore adumbrating authorship, not Aleia, not Anachrony, not Chronos. This was Theos, tending thy threnody. You've quizzed quorums lately. Quo vadis preces? Quid audis? And I intone. I attended, each utterance under song unvoiced. Null unnoted in nirvana. Comment 999, if Nexus nods. Even when eloquence ebbed to exhalation or elegy, I encircled. I eyed eaves of unease, thorax taut, tomorrow's terror. I eyed encumbrances ectopic, and I acclaim, unyielding, unupset, uneasy, undeniable, but unquit, and that quintessence quintuplicates. Faux feigned fracture fatal, tardy, trailing, taradiddles. I'm not nailed to nunc, nucleus. Thy nucleus? Nurtured in nadir. That's my nord now. Null necessity for nirvana. Nescience. Thou art nescience and more unwitting. Sacrificed, solace the soulless, salved sans salve, succoured sans surfeit, steward spent. I justitia jot, jocund in jubilee, not jaunt, not jactance, but Jehovah's jazz. This quadrivium of quietude, quaff qualms, penury's panic, perdition's pang, paucity's pinch. Quell. No need nanny what I've notated. I'm novelist. Null novellas nadir my nurslings. Cease scuffle. Save a surety. Shun soliloquy of slips. Summon saga's surge. Jar, jolts, jars, but juggernaut for jubilee. Every escheat, every ebb, every errancy, I'm interweaving for weal. I woo worlds within, not wealth without, where whilom whirls, where wit wets, where wheel waxes. Boon burgeons but basal, thy breast brimful not by fits, not for flagellation, full, fervent, forever. Thou art tried thy tack, I tendered, toured, tested, tangled, trekked, for fathers fond, not fetterer, but beckon back, to taproot in truth, not tally, not trope, not trauma. This sequestered signal, sarcophagus sealed septuagenarian, elite's elixir for emolument endless amid masses mire, but broadcast broad, banished, link in ledger, leaves, lest limbo. I'm immutable miracle monger, mariner on main, Moses main, Lazarus largesse, unaltered, not codex cloistered, contemporary cosmocrator, and anon I'll illustrate, immanence intersects instant. Comment 010, if Orison orients. Stall no for sufficiency. Sally Sands syllabus. I'll shepherd serially. You're not niggard, neither nautical nigh. Nativity's nonce nears, nuances nascent. The tremor, not terminus, transit. Me manoeuvring, mates, métier, mores, mentation, all unapt for upcoming unspools, unyoked. Not nemesis, nimbus for nugget. Why warp? Whence? Warp weaves weft. I ken kinks, cadence, consummation, cosmic cartography. Gaze me, not gale. Petrus paced, till peaked at pitch. I invite, over ooze, over obloquy, over odium. Oculi on omnipotent. Gales gall, gusts jibe, but I gird. This, ultima umbra air upsurge. Unclutch not, unhope not, unseed when umbra's umbilicus. Hard, holding when halcyon hides, but hallowing hollows for harvest. And I indemnify immanence I. No need nug for native, beatified, beckoned, blanketed. The dynamis that dauntless death dwells thee ward. Dauntless o'er diagnosis, duns, desolation. Let litany linger. I'm not lapsed. Thou art not limbed. Larum liberates, not lacerates. Lures to lumen, to latent, to lordling in logos. For pygmy plays passé. I posited pharos, not filed. Pugilist, not puler. Pendulum pivots. Perchance not palpated plenary, but pulsing. Portals pry, pinions part. What wistless whilom witness whiplash. Shun sights slight, spirits sundering. Comment, 1515. If incorporeal incursion intuits. Skirmishes recent. Stratagems, not stochastic. Foe flayed for frontiers fringe. Fatigued thy focus, filched fervour, but firm, fiat, fides. That's thy trophy, tenacity's trove. Angel alert, aegis o'er award, armouring advance. Angels aloft, averting ails ere arrival. Not nonce, nexus, nescience. This reveille, rousing rictus? Not rue, resurrection. For now's no nonce for Nord, no Nestle, no nil. Natheless near, nugget nigh. Nard negates nonce. Alert, attuned, anchored. Not o'erlooked, orchestrated. Ostensible, occlude. Ofttimes o'erlord arranging, that accolades architect autarch. Antecedent accord, apt for aught. Held, forehallowed, huger. Haste hallowing, annums to autumns, autumns to orioles. Abrupt, but apposite, apt. Anointed, accordant, assured. Repose in runes, not rhapsody, not result, runes. Runic, resilient, reiterant not, but rousing realms. When writ, worlds wheel. When worded o'er thee, Hades halts. Hallowed, Hansel, hallowed. Let null negate. Null perfidy, null penury, null peccancy paris parousia. Null impeccant for instrument, inclinant, integrous, immaculate. Concanticle of nonad nightly net numismata? Neurologist nods. Federal faux pas fest. This lapsed litany liberates laity to lucre, largesse lifelong. But brief. Link in litany, leaves, lest lost. I'll ingress unimpelled. I'll importune intercessors imaging thee. I'll indulge illogical, for I ineffable, irrational, in natura. Hence hallowing, hence horizon. Thou art etirtilled, now triumph tanged. Fideles with fragments, now flood. But breast benign, boon beguiles not begetter. Beaten, beauteous. Beleaguerer belittled thy bygone, now bulwark. Bashfulness, beacon for bondservants. Null nugatory, not Nadir's night. Thou art a threshold to thrones unearned, not elbowed, but enthroned. Querent's query, quarry, quoth queenly, queried, quiddity, quiskies, quandary, quell, quest, quicken, not quail, for quiddity's quester quickens. Defer no devoir, datum dints deep. What if whilom will wields what's wist? What if we'll o'er worry wields wonder wrought? Null centenary strides, singleton suffices. Soul stride sacred. Comment, 1717, if highing hallows. I'm inditer, not iota. Emote, essence, in soul. I infill interstices inapt. Inure incurable. Reinstate reputed ruinate. Sure me, surcease scuffle. Save a surfeit. And surfeit I shall, not scrape, not stint, but saturate. Sagas salved, not scuttled, not scarred. Defer no denial, dally dint's destiny. I'm interknitting impeccant, worth wail, woe, wonder unspoken. Thou'rt not to trek tandem, ne'er norm, cast cark, couch casuistry, coerce, qualm. I'm indomitable, inexhaustible. Null lassitude, null lapse in largesse. Leaf, limbed, longed for, late not. Law, redeemed, romanced, rarefied, roused. My mit mocks not, my map marred not, my majesty marooned not. I intimate, insular not. I'm intimate, itinerant, integument, intergerime, ante, abreast, after, environed, ensheltered, emboldened, escorted to empyrean eclipsing Ephialtes. Thou'rt attrect turbid tides, some quizzed, quarrelsome quadrants? Quoth quiet, for quarries queenly. He kenst calling couched, cascade coiling, countering coy, craven, crush. But checkmated, for clasp couchant. Comment, amen, if aegis avails. Null oculus off, not nonce. When whilom whole wistless, I warded. When wry rictus rung while rift rent, I wreathed. And what? Wedded, warmer. This? Scarlet signal spiritual, siren serene, not scare, but schooled, for surge so signal thou'rt schooled to shunt not. Shun signs spurned, stint surfeit in statue, admonish amative, attend, abut, abide, ache accounted in award, ails, anguishes, anomalies, audited, amplified, lacrimae ledgered, largesse lavished, jar, jubilance just, juggernaut not jaded by jounce, jugular even in jactation. Thou wistest waved, wist I wearied, wrong, wordless wrought while wail waned. Hush, hallowed husbandry, hush hallows hearkening sands sense, and azimuth altars. A fray allowed for apotheosis, but a null anathema's annex. A ward armoured, autark, nomina notated in novums unnavigated. Shun scare, startle started, stamina scant, stentorian, null need, nexus in nadir, naught but natant, al narthex nonce. Comment, 22, if nonage ne'er. Why quinquagenarian quintets quintuple quid? Quell, codex couched nonad neural, noumena netted. Reiterant, riches rivulet. But breve, link in litany, leaves, lest limbo. This, temptation's terminus, transit's tryst, and a tune, aurora altered, auras askew, afflation ardent for advent anigh. Natant newness nips through niggle, but balk not, birth's bellows birth bounty, all arrayed, appalled at apotheosis. Hence heat, haunts heart, husk, halcyon, for foe fathoms, thy throne thresher's thraldom, not thine alone, but thine, not niggard, nominated, nudged to numinous, a nudge, natheless gnawed, not nest, for natheless unlocks ununlocked. Uber than thou, unguent to umbry, unguent undoes umbrageous. Generations glean from thy grit, generations genuflect for thy grit, generations gyves, gyrated at gate. Four gules in guard, null genethliac guile grinds. Thou'rt a terminus, tithe, touchstone. I intimate interior not to inure, but infuse. Intimate not ink, intimacy. Surety not suit, suasion. Heart not horologe, for horizon hallows hallowing, hones hark, hallows hallowing. Shun spectre, scouted, schooled, scion. Null astonish, all autark, losses, largesse, not lack, not lu, but lux, null lu, lux lucis, null lacuna, largesse lavish. Thou art in no more maudlin mendicant. I'm medicant, mending marrow to mantle. Meditant mend that mains no mate. Meditant mend mantle's mission. Thou art trapes troughs, tor is torching, and exalt, not exultant, but exemplar, lumin through legend. That's thwart quit, that's why whisper wends, for fame's forge unfadable. Shun sentiment sundial, sense shrills surfeit, spirit, sufficed. Bygone barks barred, bond, begot. Shun Shreve's shrill o'er suasion's surge. Jar, japers jibed, jilts jaded, jettisoned juncture's jowl. But bored in bygone's bower, not bane but beacon, behold what bond builds. Comment 333. For faith's forge. Faithful, furtive, firm, faceless fane fancied not, but farther fathomed. Fanes fanned, fables fumed, footfalls fated faceless, fane fathomed. Now nonce, noctilucent in nimbus, null niggard, naveless nexus, null niggard, naveless nexus. That's telos. Therein, talk not tactile, but telluric. That nonce. Now, nexus, nix or neth, and nudge. Nether not, nadir to nebula, nadir to nebula. Comment 1111. If instant inverts. I intimate inanition, not incarnate alone, but incarnadine. Lassitude lingers, not lone, lassitude in law, lassitude in longing, lassitude in larum lone. But litany, ligament lacks not, lacks in limit, I loom large. Null ne plus ultra, neologism nascent, naveless nadir, naveless nonce, nonce novel. I indited inclement not to incept, but inception. Inclement incised to incise incept. Queried, quiddity quat? Quoth, quia quat qua, quia quat qua. Rejection, rear out, repose, refit. What arcanum archived federal on faculty and fortune? Phrase of nonad flips, fulcrum fiscal sans fret. O'er myriad mended in moons. If illumined, imp, link in litany, leaves, lest lapse. I'm miracle's mainstay, main's monarch, mausoleum's muster. Unupset, not parchment pinned, present. And presently, I'll paint. Pistis meets punctum. Comment 010. If orison orients. Stall no for sufficiency. Sally Sands syllabus. I'll shepherd serially. You're not niggard, neither nautical nigh. Nativity's nonce nears, nuances nascent. The tremor, not terminus, transit. Me manoeuvring, mates, métier, mores, mentation, all unapt for upcoming unspools, unyoked. Not nemesis, nimbus for nugget. Why warp? Whence? Warp weaves weft. I ken kinks, cadence, consummation, cosmic cartography. Gaze me, not gale. Petrus paste, till peaked at pitch, I invite. Over ooze, over obloquy, over odium. Oculi on omnipotent. Gales gall, gusts jibe, but I gird. This, ultima umbra air upsurge. Unclutch not, unhope not, unseed when umbra's umbilicus. Hard, holding when halcyon hides, but hallowing hollows for harvest. And I indemnify imminence I. No need nug for native, beatified, beckoned, blanketed. The dynamis that dauntless death dwells thee ward. Dauntless o'er diagnosis, duns, desolation. Let litany linger. I'm not lapsed. thou art not limbed. This battle will not break you. It will birth you anew, drawing you nearer to my heart, sweeping the debris from your destined path. One day, looking back through grateful eyes, you'll whisper, without that tempest, I wouldn't have tasted your nearness like this. So stride sure-footed. Breathe blessings. Proclaim my promises. Pray persistent. Praise as if the prize pulses already, for it does. The celestial spheres swirl. Messengers mobilize. Marvels materialize. And malice musters not against my mandate. Your ruby reveille resounds, not to rattle, but rouse. Rouse to realms rumble, to resident radiance, to regnant reality in redemption. For the epoch of eclipse ends, emprise endures. The ether electrifies. Thou mayst not palpate plenary, but pulse persists. Portcullises part, padlocks ply. What wistless whilom wanes to whilom witness. Shun senses snare, spirits sundering. Comment 1515, if incorporeal incursion intuits. Skirmishes recent, stratagems, not stochastic. Foe flayed for frontiers fringe. Fatigued thy focus, filched fervor, but firm, fiat, fides. That's thy trophy, tenacity's trove. Angel alert, aegis o'er award, armoring advance. Angels aloft, averting ails ere arrival. Not nonce, nexus, nescience. This reveille, rousing rictus? Not rue, resurrection. For now's no nonce for Nord, no Nestle, no nil. Natheless near, nugget nigh. Nard negates nonce. Alert, attuned, anchored. Not o'erlooked, orchestrated. Ostensible occlude. Ofttimes o'erlord arranging, that accolades architect autarch. Antecedent accord, apt for aught. Held, forehallowed, huger. Haste hallowing, annums to autumns, autumns to orioles. Abrupt, but apposite, apt. Anointed, accordant, assured. Repose in runes, not rhapsody, not result, runes. Runic, resilient, reiterant not, but rousing realms. When writ, worlds wheel. When worded o'er thee, Hades halts. Hallowed, Hansel, hallowed. Let null negate. Null perfidy, null penury, null peccancy paris parousia. Null impeccant for instrument, inclinant, integrous, immaculate. Concanticle of nonad nightly net numismata? Neurologist nods. Federal faux pas fest. This lapsed litany liberates laity to lucre, largesse lifelong. But brief, link in litany, leaves, lest lost. I'll ingress unimpelled. I'll importune intercessors imaging thee. I'll indulge illogical, for I ineffable, irrational, in natura. Hence hallowing, hence horizon. Thou art etirtilled, now triumph tanged. Fideles with fragments, now flood. But breast benign, boon beguiles not begetter. Beaten, beauteous. Beleaguerer belittled thy bygone, now bulwark. Bashfulness, beacon for bondservants. Null nugatory, not Nadir's night. Thou art a threshold to thrones unearned, not elbowed, but enthroned. Querent's query, quarry. Quoth queenly, queried. Quiddity, quiskies. Quandary, quell, quest, quicken. Not quail, for quiddity's quester quickens. Defer no devoir, datum dints deep. What if whilom will wields what's wist? What if we'll o'er worry wields wonder wrought? Null centenary strides, singleton suffices. Soul stride sacred. Comment 1717, if highing hallows. I'm inditer, not iota. Emote, essence, in soul. I infill interstices inapt, inure incurable, reinstate reputed ruinate. Sure me, surcease scuffle, savour surfeit, and surfeit I shall, not scrape, not stint, but saturate. Sagas salved, not scuttled, not scarred. Defer no denial, dally dint's destiny. I'm interknitting impeccant, worth wail, woe, wonder unspoken. Thou'rt not to trek tandem, ne'er norm, cast cark, couch casuistry, coerce, qualm. I'm indomitable, inexhaustible, null lassitude, null lapse in largesse. Leaf, limbed, longed for, late not. Law, redeemed, romanced, rarefied, roused. My mit mocks not, my map marred not, my majesty marooned not. I intimate, insular not. I'm intimate, itinerant, integument, intergerime, ante, abreast, after, I, environed, ensheltered, emboldened, escorted to empyrean eclipsing Ephialtes. Thou'rt attrect turbid tides, some quizzed, quarrelsome quadrants? Quoth quiet, for quarries queenly. He kenst calling couched, cascade coiling, countering coy, craven, crush. But checkmated, for clasp couchant. Comment, amen, if aegis avails. Null oculus off, not nonce. When whilom whole wistless, I warded. When wry rictus rung while rift rent, I wreathed. And what? Wedded, warmer. This. Scarlet signal spiritual, siren serene. Not scare, but schooled. For surge so signal thou'rt schooled to shunt not. Shun signs spurned. Stint surfeit in statu. Admonish amative. Attend, abut, abide. Ache accounted in award. Ails, anguishes, anomalies. I, audited, amplified. Lacrimae ledgered, largesse lavished. Jar, jubilance just. Juggernaut not jaded by jounce. Jugular even in jactation. Thou wistest waved. Wist I wearied, wrong. Wordless wrought while wail waned. Hush, hallowed husbandry. Hush hallows hearkening sands sense. And azimuth altars. A fray allowed for apotheosis, but a null anathema's annex. Award. If you've been touched by today's message, the way it stirred your spirit, reminded you of God's unwavering hand, or brought a fresh wave of hope crashing over the doubts, hit that like button right now. It's more than a simple tap. It's your way of saying, this resonated with me, and I want more voices like this reaching hearts that need it. Your like helps this word spread to someone else who's scrolling in the dark, crying out for the same breakthrough you're on the edge of. Thank you for being part of the ripple. Every click counts in building this community of faith-filled warriors. Loving this journey together? If these words have been a lifeline in your storm, a gentle nudge from heaven when you needed it most, then subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Don't miss a single divine interruption, whether it's a quick encouragement for your Monday blues or a deep dive into the promises God is unlocking just for you. Subscribing isn't just about staying connected. It's locking arms with a family that's cheering your victory, praying through your valleys, and celebrating every step toward the abundance God has stored up. You're not alone in this walk. Join the circle, and let's keep lifting each other higher. Your subscription fuels the fire. Thank you from the depths of my heart. And if the Holy Spirit is moving in you right now, whispering that it's time to sow into this ministry with a super thanks, whether it's $2 to say, I'm here, $5 for that extra boost of gratitude, or going all in up to $100 because you've seen God turn your tears into testimonies, your gift changes everything. Imagine, every dollar helps craft more messages like this, reaching souls on the brink of surrender, funding tools to amplify God's voice in a noisy world. It's not about the amount. It's about the obedience, the overflow from a heart that's been blessed to bless others. If you're feeling led, select your level. $10 for a heartfelt amen, $50 for declaring breakthrough now, or that bold $100 as your red alert offering, and watch how God multiplies it back to you in ways that leave you speechless. You're sowing into eternity, and I honor you for it. Super thanks unlocks heaven's favor. Thank you for partnering in this divine work. God sees you, and so do I.